I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow, the snow. But then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Alright, so finally I get to do the Mr.Deboheire Christmas special. And I did believe in one video I gave a little hint about what I was going to talk about. I think it was something along the lines. I think I said in the video like something along the lines of it being about selfishness. I don't remember with exact words, but this is what this video is going to be pretty much be about. I mean, it is about Christmas, but it's about, you know, my views on Christmas and pretty much what I think it is, what it turned out to be, yada yada yada. So I have always grown up to have kind of a love-hate relationship with Christmas, because on one hand, I love the concept of getting together with your friends, your family, and having a Christmas dinner and having just a good old time, right? Celebrating. All that was something I've always wanted to experience, but unfortunately, not all of us, including myself, have really had that experience because either friends weren't really that type of people that you would do that with. But also family, and I think this is where it really hits home with me. Your family is dysfunctional, which mine is. My family is very dysfunctional, and it's not to say that I've never had Christmas dinner with them or had any of that, but it really wasn't all that great. It wasn't because it wasn't all that great because we really weren't that close. There's I don't want to get that deep into it, but so not everyone can have that experience, and that's kind of what the positive side of Christmas is supposed to be about, right? And if I don't ramble on too much, then I'm going to end this recording with a story of one of the worst Christmases I've ever had. But either way, so that's all the good stuff that I like about Christmas. But like I said, not all of us have a functional family to have that experience. On another hand, I feel like, I was told anyways, when I was growing up, that Christmas was supposed to be a celebration of giving, like giving all year round. But I find it to be kind of the opposite, really, because I feel like people are more giving during Christmas than they are all year round. They treat Christmas almost as if this is the only month, where you're encouraged to be giving. Every other month, it's you just go right back to being normal. That's essentially what I believe what Christmas is people, it's because people have two things in this world that really make it as bad as it is, and it's greed and stupidity. The people who are greedy take too much. The people who are stupid allow them to, and that's why you have the world the way it is. People on top doing things wrong, and people on the bottom kind of letting them do it. So, but Christmas is turned into also a kind of a commercial thing. It's all about business at this point. It used to be in the old days before we had the industrial revolution, where things could easily be mass produced. Before all that, it would be about making a toy. It'd be making something with your hands, and putting actual effort into doing it. And the kids, back then would be a lot more appreciative getting a toy because just the way it was during the time is, like it wasn't. It was harder to get those things because you couldn't mass produce things. That was the whole point of the industrial revolution. And so for a kid to get a toy, that meant a whole lot, you know. And I feel like a lot of times, like especially in my day, we actually had more appreciation for those things because of the limitations. You know, the more you have, the less you appreciate things. But that's the way I see it. And we lost it. Now it's funny because I was originally going to do this recording a little bit different than it kind of turned out to be because I was going to show people being selfish by showing clips of people during Black Friday, running over each other, walking over each other, fighting, you name it, just to get the TV, the cheap TV, the cheap game console, whatever. But and I could still show it, but that would be old clips because this year people didn't do it. The economy's gotten that bad, but I still feel like it is still very much about commercialism, you know. Um, so I just no, I just think it's just not the same as it used to be. I think people, are a whole lot more aware in some ways of, it's just I gotta say it's just lost its sort of Disney flair. It's just not as, it's not as imagine. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure most people know what I'm talking about. It's just, it's just not as imaginary as it used to be. Especially like the '90s and below that. But anywho, so let's talk about that funny story that happened to me in one of the worst Christmases I've ever had in my life. Um, well, I gotta give credit where credit's due. This involves my aunt, and my aunt did at one point actually buy me a pretty good gift. She bought me. It was her and her jackass husband, ex-husband now, who bought me a bike. And that was that, right? It was a bike. It was cool, right? But there was one Christmas in which she bought me the most ridiculous thing any 12-year-old would ever receive. Okay, so basically here's the scenario. Basically, I'm sitting there on the couch. She hands me the gift. It's all wrapped up. I open up anticipation. What am I gonna get this year? I open it up, and guess what I got? I got a door alarm. You heard it, a door alarm. What is that? Well, it's a little device that I would put like at my door, and anybody that opened up my door, the thing would go dee 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 dee. Like it was an alarm, so a door alarm. Well, I'm thinking at 12 years old, what do I need a door alarm for? Especially since the only person that lives, that I live with, that lives with me, is my mom. There's nobody else. I didn't have brothers and sisters, didn't have a father, or it was just me and her. So what am I going to use this for? Is it just going to is it she's going to open the door and then all of a sudden the thing goes off and I'm like, "Oh no. My mom opened the door probably wanting to ask me something like, am I hungry or whatever, or did I clean my room, or am I gonna literally just set that door alarm there every time? Like my mind could not figure out like why did you give me a door alarm? Well, I remember being pulled aside, and my mom was like, just say thank you, don't say anything, whatever. And I remember gritting my teeth, like I just said thank you, and that was the hardest thing I could say because it's a door alarm. But I did ask her later on during that day, so where did you get this from? Apparently, she got this from a catalog. Free, by the way. Free from a catalog that she would order from. So that was my Christmas gift. It was a door alarm. And that was like 1995, 96, something like that. So, yeah. There it is. There's my worst Christmas. Anywho, stay classy.